Okay, guys. Today we are going to continue with the valves and the timing adjustment. This is the most difficult part when you repair an engine. Normally, when the people repair engines, make mistakes in the timing position, especially in diesel, and especially if the diesel engine is with mechanical fuel injection. What is the difference in between mechanical fuel injection and electronic fuel injection? The main difference?
Mechanical is based off the cam, electronic is based off the computer.
Correct. This is basically the same difference. Okay, in other words, if I have an engine like this, or this, or this, or the majority of the engine, except for 3 engines here, are mechanical fuel injection. What is the meaning of that? The gear of the fuel injection pump and the gear of the camshaft.
You just had it. Oh, mira, no. Sí, bueno, más o menos cuál es eso. Mira.
Yeah, correct. Thank you. And the gear of the crankshaft, they are aligned together one with the other one. If the marks are not aligned, the engine is off, out of time. What happens when those marks, the marks of the fuel injection pump, the mark of the camshaft, and the mark of the crankshaft are aligned? What happens if you check the pistons?
If they aren't aligned.
Excuse me?
Are.
What happened in that moment
The valve
when all of them
pistons-
are aligned with the marks?
The valve pistons and fuel won't all be.
Excuse me?
The valve pistons and fuel won't all be injected and open.
Okay, in what cylinder?
What's number?
1.
In cylinder number 1.
That's your number 1.
The reference is cylinder number 1. What is the cylinder number 1 for this engine? Check the manual. Check the manual. Normally, in automotive application, is the front piston. But in diesel, is the piston in the back, close to the transmission. This is number 1. For that reason, check the manual. Oh, this is a marine engine. Be careful because this engine is used in agricultural, in tractors, John Deere, in a marine. If it's in a automotive application, the reference, the piston 1 is here. If it's marine, probably it's the backwards. Check the manual. Okay, but always the timing mark, when the timing marks are aligned, always the piston number 1 is in top dead center at the end of what? At the end of what stroke?
This is for diesel?
The exhaust stroke?
Diesel 2-stroke?
No, for a stroke. For a stroke. Look, intake, compression, power, and exhaust. How many times the piston in that complete cycle will be in top dead center? At the end of compression and other one at the end of exhaust. Okay. What happened at the end of compression with the valve? Both of them are closed. Andy, if both of them are closed, how are the springs and the rocker arms? Tight or free? Free. And the springs extended. Don't forget that. Spring extended, valve closed, and rocker arms loose. Okay. Alright. If the marks, this and this and this are aligned according with the manual, each manual is different. For example, Caterpillar in some engines is this one aligned with this and aligned with this. In other engines is this, and this out. Yeah, it's depending. Check the manual. And you check in the chapter timing marks. Oh, timing mark. Oh, in this engine, the mark in the crankshaft gear should be facing down at 6 p.m. in the bottom, and the other one on top, and the other one, and yeah, that's the design. Check the manual. Okay. In some cases, all of the marks converge in a central gear, crazy gear. It's a gear that is moving free, and that gear have the alignment for the marks. I'm going to explain right now. Okay, in the moment that all of those marks are aligned, the piston number 1 should be in top dead center at the end of compression. If you check the rocker arms in that cylinder, should be loose. Okay, come on one second. Look at this engine. Okay, what is this? Fuel injection pump. What is this? Crankshaft. And what is this? The camshaft. Ready? Camshaft, crankshaft, and fuel injection pump. Look at this. Look at the mark in the cam, and look at this. You see? You see? Piston number 1. Piston number 1. Top dead center. This with this, according with the manual, and this with this, according with the manual. The engine is on time. Good?
Yeah.
Look, this with this, and this with this. In the next coming class, in gasoline, Professor Rodriguez will explain that the famous Merc Cruiser, the gear, this is the gear for that engine for camshaft. That mark on the camshaft should be aligned with the mark in the crankshaft. And in that moment, you install the chain. And the piston number 1 should be in top dead center. Check the video. We did the video with Danny. Okay, it's clear?
Yep.
It's clear that position? And this with this. Okay, and piston number 1 in top dead center. This is a guide, a mark. Piston number 1 in top dead center. Okay, what happened in this moment? It's supposed that according with the service manual recommend in this moment, I don't know, 500 hours of operation, remove the fuel injection pump and send the fuel injection pump to the machine shop to be calibrated. Okay, the procedure to remove that pump is with the engine at 0 position. This is considered 0 position, at 0. Oh, I bring the engine, I move it, okay, align, piston number 1 in top dead center. In that moment, I can remove the fuel injection pump and send to the machine shop. And also, when I receive the pump from the machine shop, I can install the pump here because they send the pump at 0.
Yeah, you don't send it at dead top center and you send the injection pump, it'll never work.
Never.
It has to be dead.
Good? Okay. Mr. Lopez, but in normal conditions, I have the head here. How I know that the piston number 1 in that moment is at the end of compression? Because both rocker arms are free. Excuse me. In the majority of the engines, 2 pistons are at the same time in top dead center. Number 1 and number 4. What happened in this engine with number 4 in this moment? In this moment, number 1 is top dead center at the end of compression. What about this?
Same.
No. If you check the rocker arms, one is free and the other one is compressed. Exhaust. This one is at the end of what? Exhaust. You understand? One is free and the other one compressed. This is at the end of exhaust. And this one, both of them, free. This is at the end of compression, number 1. If I rotate the engine 180 degrees, this and this, both of them are on top. One at the end of compression and the other one at the end of exhaust. Good? How I know which one is at the end of compression? Because the rocker arms are loose. And the other one rocker arm loose and the other one compressed. Good? You enjoy the explanation? Okay, pay attention. In some manuals,
Where's the dot on this one?
in the service manuals, they recommend adjust the valves, adjust the last valve each some period of time. Some engines is each 250 hours calibrate valves, each 500 hours calibrate valves. Yeah, depending of the manual of the engine. This is the manual for this. The calibration of the valves is recommended in different intervals. Good. How can I calibrate the valve? I am going to explain the procedure universal. With this procedure, you can calibrate the valves in any engine, gas or diesel. If you check the service manual said, okay, bring the piston number 1 to top the center, and at the same time you can calibrate the exhaust valve in piston 3 and the intake valve in piston 5. It's too complicated. Follow this recommendation. You have this video, and you can calibrate valves in the future at any engine. Okay, look, this is the recommendation. In this moment, the marks are aligned. The piston number 1 is in top the center. The rocker arms are loose. In that moment, I am going to check in the manual what is the recommendation. What is the recommendation for the gap in intake and the gap in exhaust? Can I have those filler gauge, please? That one and the other one. Exactly. Thank you. According with this engine, they say that it's 0.025. 0.025. I recommend try to get a set of filler gauge professional. This inclination is good because in some engines you don't have a space to introduce the other one. This is great because with this is easy the calibration. Or this one is good because this one have the shape. Yeah, this is good. Or this one, for example, they recommend for this engine 0.025 inches in intake and exhaust. In some engines, according with the manual, they have one tolerance for intake and other tolerance for exhaust. That's the manufacturer design. That's not a problem. Okay, don't forget, good filler gauge. Try to keep different filler gauge because depending of the engine, in some cases this is not good. The other one, the small one, is better. Yeah, try to keep 2 or 3 different filler gauge.
And even got long ones.
The long ones,
super long
yeah.
ones. You're gonna need all of them. You're gonna need all of them eventually.
Okay, now, okay, let me explain something. The timing cover of this engine. Okay, pay attention. Mr. Lopez, in this moment it's easy because you remove the timing cover and now you can see this and this. But in this engine with the timing cover on place, I don't have any marks. I don't have any marks. The marks of this are on the flywheel. Okay, let me explain something. In the majority of the engines, you have the harmonic balancer here, and you have the medal for the timing cover. Danny is coming with the medal. In the medal of the timing cover, you have a mark, and in the harmonic balancer, you have other mark. When those marks are aligned, the mark in the timing cover is aligned with the mark in the harmonic balancer. In other engines, in the bell housing, inside is located the flywheel, and they have a window. And in the flywheel, in the flywheel are stamped numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 in different positions. When this one is in top the center with the marks aligned, in front of the hull should be the number 1. This is an indication that the engine is on time. Each manufacturer have a different recommendation to verify if my engine is in 0 position with piston number 1 at top dead center at the end of compression. That's correct? You follow the manual and you identify. In general, the harmonic balancer, the mark on the harmonic balancer match with the timing cover. Normally, this is the procedure to know if the engine is on time. Today, in the laboratory, we are going to remove the head and we are going to verify. We are going to bring piston number 1 to top the center and we are going to verify the timing marks in each engine. All right? Good? And now I am going to explain the procedure to calibrate the valves. To calibrate the valves according with the specification of the manufacturer. All right, this is the procedure. In this moment, with piston number 1 in top dead center with both rocker arms free, I can use the filler gauge to calibrate the gap. And after that, I rotate the engine and I bring the second one to top the center with both rocker arms free. And I calibrate with the filler gauge the gap over there. And I rotate again the crankshaft. How I rotate the crankshaft? Look. I prepare a socket here in the bolt and now I move it, you see? Until both of them be, this is free and this one, no. Now this is going down, you see? Down, 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 it's coming up, coming up.
You have to test that at the end of compression.
At the end of compression. Okay. You see? You see? Both of them free and piston on top. Now I can calibrate that one. And after that I rotate again and I calibrate this. I rotate again, I calibrate this. Until both of them are loose. Good? Okay, in this moment we are going to calibrate that cylinder. After that we are going to rotate more until in this moment, look, both of them are free. And piston number 6 should be in top the center at the end of exhaust. What happened at the end of exhaust? One valve is
Open and one closed.
closed. Look, this one open and this one closed, is compressed. This is the demonstration. When I rotate and this one be free, this one should be also in top the center. One at the end of compression and the other one at the end of exhaust. In other moment, this one, both of them are free, and this one is free and the other one tight, no? Because this one will be at the end of exhaust and this one will be at the end of compression. Good?
When they're loose, right now the valves are closed, right?
Correct?
Yeah.
The valves are closed and the springs are extended. No, ven Dani, vamos a hacer el calibration. Alright. Okay guys, give me the filler gauge. Put you here.
Oh, you already have it.
Yeah, it's in top the center. And look at this. In one end, you have the contact between the rocker arm
this way.
and the valve. The rocker arm and the valve. This is the place where you introduce the filler gauge. And in the other end, you have the push rod and you have the calibration. You have a bolt with a nut, and the bolt on the head is with that groove for the flat screwdriver. Ready? Okay, we are going to lose. Oh, right. Okay, you lose that one, and look. This one is too much play. I'm going to tighten a little. Okay, now it's impossible. Okay, I need that enter a little tight, no loose. Look, Porter, can you move it?
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys should all the heck it all feel it.
It's
See
tight.
now?
Oh, it's tight. Look, I am going to lose a little. Okay. No, I need a little. Move it. It's good. You feel better? Okay. In that moment, I tight this one. Can you try it, please?
It's a few of you.
You can move it? No, it's tight. Let me open. Oh.
That's the
But-
calibrate what?
The shim. It's the shim. The
Right there.
It's too tight, no?
Yeah.
The rock.
Okay.
Smooth, but you
Now-
can feel it.
Right there is good.
Okay. In that moment, I tight with this. I tight with this. In that position, I tight.
So
And this is the calibration.
just to clarify, so it's not like completely. You have to be able to move the game.
Come on.
comfortably.
You guys should feel it. The heck it all. Here, guys, get in there and feel it. Sorry about that.
Okay, look. In this moment, you can move it?
No.
No, okay. But too much play, no?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tight a little. That's better?
Yeah, it's right in the middle.
A little?
Should it be able to move freely, or should it get caught up a little
Should
bit?
have some resistance.
A little.
All right.
Exactly, that's the point.
Okay.
In that point, I tight.
Okay.
You can move it?
That's too.
No.
Okay. Now, too much play, no?
Yeah, too loose. And then it's a little.
This is the point.
Yeah,
This is the point. In that point, I tight here. Good, no? Difficult? Okay. Let me show to you something. I tight that one. And now we are going to do the next one.
Come here, Johnny. Get in this.
Okay, introduce here. Too much play, no?
Yep.
One moment. Move it.
A little too
No.
tight.
Okay, move it.
A bit tighter, like that.
You need to here. Put your finger in the button. Okay, move it, move it. It's better? Okay, in that point, I tight. And now those valves are calibrated. And now I rotate the crankshaft until this and this are free. I need a help. I need a man.
A man. Right?
Frankly, I don't know if you're the man for this.
Okay.
I've done this before.
Okay. Okay, this is free. A little. More. More.
Oh, the other one's
Yeah,
starting to
go down, go down, go
Okay.
down. Okay. 1 second. This is free. More. 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 Okay. Free and free. That's the point. I need help to lose
Where'd the filler go?
filler gauge.
Oh. Go ahead, Mark. Arm. Yeah. There you go.
Cógelo más de cerca. Look, we are going to put your fingers in the button to move. No, not here, because you have. No, one moment. It's too free.
Yeah, it's too free.
Now too tight.
Right there.
Now it's better, no?
Yeah. You feel it.
Okay. In that moment, I tight.
Yeah, you feel
Now
it.
the second one.
Who wants to try?
Okay. Your fingers in the button. Your finger exactly. Move it. Too much play.
Too much.
What about?
Right there.
That's good, no? Okay, and after that, this and this and this and this. Okay,
I'm gonna show you how to.
one in the big positive and the other one in the yellow-red signal. You remember that? Okay, one in the big positive
It's a switch.
and the other one here. The yellow-red is covered.
It's just a
Well, they
switch.
should know.
It's like a switch.
Yellow red stripe, right?
For what? He's just giving it power
the camera
from
man,
the.
bro.
big red going to the starter and then to the yellow red so that he can move the starter to.
Good enough.
I know, right?
Okay, so you're just trying to move it.
Yeah.
Without
Or free
15
book,
hours,
something.
15 hours, bro. Let the starter do the job.
Yeah, I walked over there.
It's a veterinary.
Yeah, what is that? Like a momentary switch?
It's like you're bypassing the switch. I'm going to show you something because when you get close, it's easy to pass over. Then you get the concentrator or something.
Yeah,
It'll show you that you book or anything. That's something that should show you.
It's covered with a plastic here. It's not.
Power Pro, Mr. Lopez.
Well, even with a power probe.
Excuse me. You have a small wire.
Small wire.
Yeah.
Like the roll before.
Power probes actually do come in handy. They're not. I use it almost every day.
Yeah, you installed the goated.
The windshield washer.
I don't use a voltmeter probably.
Frankie loves the volt.
I fucking hate the voltmeter.
He loves the
Why?
voltmeter.
You don't like cigar? I mean, it's more convenient, honestly, with the multimeter.
You see? Until both of them are free, no? Yeah, it's a process. Stop, slow. 2 people.
So I want to just explain something. When you're doing it with this, see how it's not easy to have control. So sometimes what I'll do is, like, if we're so close, I'll just take the corner here and I'll just bump it because you don't have the same control as that. So sometimes, like, I'm like almost there, and if you do it by hand, you're gonna pass and you have to do it all over again. So all I'm doing is I'll go like this and I'll just go dink dink just to move just a little bit.
And the crankshaft is moving, and other person is moving. Oh yeah, that point. Good. No more questions? Sure. No more questions. This is one of the most common jobs in marine diesel engines. Valves calibration. Let me explain something, my friends. In gasoline engines, you don't need calibrate the valves. You don't need adjust that gap. I don't know if you see the videos, but in gasoline automotive engines, the lifters in between the push rods and the lobes of the camshaft, the lifter is hydraulic. When the oil pressure increase because the engine start, the lifter expand and the push rod bring the rocker arm close to the valve. In those engines with hydraulic lifters, you don't need calibrate valves. In diesel engines, the majority of the engines, they don't have hydraulic lifters. They have solid pieces of metal. For that reason, you need calibrate the valves. Yeah, that's the main difference.
So there is no lifters in a diesel?
Excuse me?
There's no lifters?
They are the solid.
They're solid?
Solid, no hydraulics.
That's why, like, when you have a low oil pressure in a gasoline engine, you hear it.
This is one of the...
lifters not lifting. And what happens is the sponge.
Okay guys, now you are in front of this. We are going to explain the project. The first element that we are going to remove is the valve cover. The valve cover. And we are going to put the valve cover on the table with the bolts in a plastic bag with the name valve cover bolts.
Which part of that specifically is called the lifter?
Excuse me?
Which part of it specifically is called the lifter?
The lifter.
It's underneath.
It's-
Once you pull it out, pull the head.
I am going to explain when we disassemble the engine, where are the lifters in your engine. It's in the bottom of the push rod. The push rod, the lifter, and the camshaft.
It's in the block.
It's in between the camshaft and the push rod. You see the videos, no? My friend, you have those videos with better explanation than the explanation that we create those videos with Danny. We spend a lot of time doing, for example, this one, the procedure for timing is well explained over there. Check the videos. And in that video, I explained the difference between hydraulic lifters, solid lifters, why this is better in gasoline and why this is better in diesel, why this is preferred in this type of engine. Yeah?
Those videos prepare you for this lab.
Yeah.
So when we're explaining something like this, you should already have a general idea on what we're doing.
Okay, this is the procedure. Follow me because we need that you follow the recommendation and you avoid problems. You don't damage the part. Number 1, remove the valve cover and put the valve cover on the table. Number 2, remove the accessories, alternator, belt, raw water pump, the harmonic balancer, we have a puller to remove the harmonic balancer. Danny and me, we help in each engine to remove the harmonic balancer. You remove all the accessories. You remove the star motor. You remove the alternator, the serpentine belt. Yeah? When you finish with that, you can remove the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold. When you have intake manifold and exhaust manifold out, you can remove the fuel injection lines and the fuel injection pump. And after that, you are ready to remove the rack of rocker arms. Give me that one. Exactly. That. You remove the rack of rocker arms. This is the rocker arms of this engine. You see? You have one ball here, other here, other here, other here, and you remove this rack completely out. When you have the rack out, you can remove the push rods. As soon as you remove the push rods, verify that they are flat and put in a separate box. No? Push rods for cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, everything organized. When you remove the push rods and the rocker arms, you are ready to remove the bolts of the head, and you remove the head. We help with Danny because those heads are heavy. In some cases, we need to install brackets, and with the crane, you lift the head. No, Danny?